Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. So hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys today. Today we're going to be doing the comments from the Friday video. And the way this came up, normally I don't do videos on Saturday and Sunday. However, Thursday, I always say anybody that leaves me a Thursday comment, I will read it on Friday and answer all the questions, the comments on that Thursday video on Friday morning. I had forgotten about it on Friday because of all the excitement in the markets. And so I said, okay, I'll do a Saturday video and I'll answer all of the questions on Thursday for Thursday's video on Saturday morning. And then I said, and all of the stuff from Friday I will actually do on Sunday. So I'm going to be doing a video today. I think it's going to be a great video because there's a lot to talk about, especially some of the deals on this video. If you want, leave me a comment and let me know any deals that you picked up this weekend. I love to hear them. I always get some cool deals over the weekend, and this weekend was phenomenal. And the reason I say that is I had so many good deals come up this weekend because a lot of people are hurting for money. They need cash. And on top of that, some people are a little skittish. They think that, hey, we might have hit our top $54 silver. Maybe this is it. And they're a little nervous. And so, a lot of people are trying to get out a little bit. And if you guys get a minute, go check out my short videos that I put up over the weekend, specifically to be continued even higher. This one, $54 silver going even higher. Put a lot of work into this short video. It's the same here and here, but I actually had been saving all kinds of little compilations as the silver price has been climbing. I paired it to an amazing song. I don't want to say the name because it might ruin it, but I shouldn't have let you go. Needless to say, that as I was listening to this song, it's what I thought of. It really is thinking about silver and all these people that have been letting their silver go at 15, at 20, at 25, at 30, at 40, at 50, at 54. It's crazy, and people are still letting it go. So go check out these couple short videos because I think they're only 1 minute and they're super awesome. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in. We're going to talk about the comments on Friday's video, and I'll tell you a couple of deals that I picked up over the weekend. So I talked to one guy, and he's like, I'll tell you, this might have been the best one. Guy said, he asked me what the best I asked him what the best he could do on his silver dimes were. He told me, $3 is about the best I can do. I don't have any room for that, less than $3. And I said, well, if I will you do 11 for 30? And I know some people out there might think, oh, what's that one extra dime? Does it really matter? Every little bit essentially makes a difference. It helps you stack even more. And I told him, but I'll take a whole bunch if you're willing to do it. I said, and I'll buy some other stuff too. And all in all, I spent a bunch of money, but the guy said, yeah, take as many dimes as you want, 11 of them for $30. I ended up picking up altogether 115 dimes. He actually gave me for, 11, 12, 13, 14, 114 dimes. He ended up giving it to me for $300 flat. So that was a really cool pickup that I picked up. Another guy told me I could have 3 quarters, silver quarters, for a 20. At first he said $7 a piece. I said, I'm not paying more than $7 right now. I mean, not a lot of people want junk silver right now, especially since the refineries ain't buying the stuff back. He said, I'll do 3 for 20. And so I jumped on that, took that right off. I had $2 at the end left over after I'd spent all my money. And I said, hey, I got $2 left over. Why not just take the last $2, throw in an extra silver dime? And he said, okay. So I was like, nice. I left totally broke over the weekend. I'm going into Sunday without $1 to my name, literally. On top of that, I picked up a 10-ounce bar for $500, which I think was a pretty decent price. I picked up 5 maple leafs for $50 each. And I picked up a bag of miscellaneous change, a silver quarter, and 2 silver dimes for $25 from one person. Now, the miscellaneous change, it had 12 non-silver quarters in there. So, I mean, that's like, actually, it might have been, I'm sorry, it was 16 because it was $4. And then it had a bunch of pesos. It had a couple loons, Canadian loons. So those are $1 a piece, essentially, probably maybe a little less depending on the conversion rate. But it all adds up. It all adds up. When you're factoring in the overall purchase that you purchase, every little piece adds up to help grow your stack. And even if it's something as little as 16 quarters, that's still $4 that you're getting back. Those were not silver quarters, those 16. I said, he goes, do you want them to? I said, yeah, why not? I mean, technically it's $4 less. So the bag that cost me $25 technically cost me $21 when I subtract the quarters. $19 when I subtract the Sacagawea and the Susan B. Anthony. The silver quarter and the 2 silver dimes, if I factor that out at the $13, the $3 for the dimes, the $7 for the quarters, which might be still a little low even for pricing, that still brought my 19 down to about $6 for all the miscellaneous. I didn't go through the miscellaneous yet. I hope to go through it tomorrow. So I'm hoping I know I picked up some really great deals. And why did I go out of my way to pick up on a Saturday when we had that huge beatdown? That's exactly why I did that, because we had the beatdown on Friday that I believe will lead to a jump even higher on Monday, maybe even Sunday night, Monday, maybe not right off, but by the end of the month, we will be over $55, I believe. I think there's going to be a Fed, well, I know there's going to be a Fed meeting coming up. They're probably going to try to cut interest rates. If they do that, they'll try to strengthen the dollar, which may beat silver price down a little bit. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to have a huge impact. I think this is it. And we're going to see silver continue to climb. I really believe that the COMEX understands they are in a really bad position right now. And that's why they're having planes fly silver to them, because essentially they need a lot of silver for delivery. And Americans, unfortunately, just don't understand. We don't understand that silver is real wealth. I think we're going to learn the hard way for a lot of us, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. If you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I love to hear the deals that you picked up. With that being said, let's jump in and read through the comments off of the Friday video, because I didn't want people to be left out that wanted to put a comment up. I might even read some of the comments from yesterday's video, because it said there was a lot, but if I've already answered them, I can't go back and see them, I don't think. So that's why. But let's take a look and let's read through the Friday ones, because I purposely did not answer any of the Friday comments because I knew I was going to be reading them on Sunday. So, okay. Keep up the positive vibes. Love and keep stacking, brother. Thank you so much, Todd. I appreciate that. That was some great financial advice today, T-Square. Thank you. The channel, not financial advice, nor should it be considered as such. However, definitely some good advice, stuff to think about, and I think people just need to really understand what's really happening out there. Let's see. Saturday video, yay. I'm so happy with silver and gold this week. Yeah, so here's the thing. That beatdown that we saw Friday, I was happy with it, to be honest. I know some people are like, what do you mean you're happy? You just lost a bunch of money. I didn't lose anything from not selling. And all that did was set me up for the weekend. I actually didn't really have a lot of money to go into the weekend to be able to buy some of this stuff. So what I had done was all those state quarters that I had been saving, I actually had a roll of every state. So some of those were uncirculated. Some of them were circulated. Some of them I had multiple rolls of. And a couple of the rolls I didn't want to get rid of at the time. However, I may end up getting rid of the rest of them. I saved them because I heard there was a lot of mistakes in stuff like the Tennessee quarter, the Nebraska quarter, the whatever. The different states, New York, I think, had a lot of mistakes. So I didn't want to get rid of those rolls of quarters, even though they were quarters that I had collected kind of early on, and I've been holding them for a really long time. I kind of feel like that money has just not done anything for me. Back when I bought a lot of those quarters, them rolls of quarters, I could have gotten an ounce of silver for 2.5 rolls of quarters. You know, you're talking $25 essentially. Today, it takes 5 rolls of quarters to get the same ounce of silver. So I did end up dumping them now. I still got a little bit of stuff, but not nearly what I was carrying, and I'm probably going to get rid of some more stuff. I think when it comes to clad change, when it comes to paper money, I think I don't really want to hold it too long. I've considered getting rid of even my zinc pennies, maybe going through them, but it takes so long to go through them to separate stuff out. Same with the nickels. It takes a little time to go through stuff. But with everything going on, you know, if we see some crazy stuff happen, I may want to try to put some extra money together to pick up some more stuff. The gentleman that I picked up the $500 10-ounce bar from, he actually had 3 more that I wasn't really a fan of because they were kind of beat up a little bit, I guess you can say. One of them was an AppMax an AppMax 10-ounce bar. One of them was something that was heavily tarnished and held. So I didn't really like those bars per se. But at $500, I really believe that they will go up fast next week. And I think by the end of the month, we'll look back and we'll see $50 silver as a cheap spot. However, I also have to look at the guy that gave me the 11 dimes for $30, that maybe I should consider putting any money that I get back to buying the rest of those dimes, or possibly buying the rest of his quarters at 3 for $20. 3 silver quarters for $20, 2 rolls of quarters. I can get rid of the rest of them, and maybe that will grow. Right off the bat, upon buying them, you make a few bucks right off. It won't be long before 2 quarters, in my opinion, is $20. So we'll see how that plays out. I will keep y'all posted on if I pick up stuff. I did have someone order me a tripod. So like I said, I will go back to doing the package openings. I actually have 2 packages right now. One from Unknown, one from Dave, that both of them have sent me to give away. But I don't have a tripod right now, so I don't have the capability to open that on camera for y'all. So that's why I've kind of been holding off on them a little bit. But that will be a fun event when I get them open, and I'll be able to show you guys some of the deals that I pick up. Even though I may pass some of them deals off to friends, but we'll see. Big fan here, Stack On. Thank you so much, King. I really do appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see silver continue to climb, and Stack On, that is definitely the key phrase right there. Good morning, everyone. Great video today. That is true understanding of what is happening. Yeah, people just don't really understand. They're seeing silver go up in price, and they don't really see the secondary. This is not some random item that's just getting bought up because of a fad. This is a full breakdown of the current monetary system. And there's only one way this ends. This ends in a full reset of some sort. How will the reset play out? We've seen a lot of different types of resets play out. In some cases, the money is just totally changed to digital. In some cases, the money has some zeros whacked off of it, so $100 becomes $1. In some cases, they do okay, we're going to back the money to gold. There's a lot of different things that could happen. We could see some crazy thing happen and the whole grid goes down and, oh, we lost everybody's records of all their money and everything, so therefore we're starting back at zero. Who knows? I mean, crazy stuff happens, and just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it won't. But this always happens the same way. The people that have a nice savings account usually lose it all. And the difference between a person preparing and stacking today is going to be the difference of you going into the new system with something or without nothing. And if you have nothing, it's not the end of the world. You'll just go to work, produce something, and make a small wage and survive. But if you can carry something into the next system with you, you can do really well. And so that's what a lot of us, the reason we stack is so we can carry something into the next realm or the next system and not be totally broke, essentially, not have to totally start over. Can you imagine if you're like 65, 70 years old and you've been working all your life, you've got a fat savings account. I got one buddy, he's got over $100,000 in the bank, and he's working right now, so he's still making money, but he's just holding it in cash in a savings account. And I've talked to him a little bit about gold, a little bit about silver, and yeah, he's picked up a few coins here and there, but for that kind of money, I would expect someone to have more than, 50 or 60 ounces of silver. I think a day is going to come where he may realize, but then it could be too late. And that's one of the things I worry about. Next comment, Donnell. Good morning, T. What a beautiful Friday we're having together. Silver is doing beautifully with the price, and gold is upholding my purchasing power. What more could I ask for? I feel like I'm being blessed from every corner and grateful for everything that I have. Absolutely. So you must have wrote this comment really early on Friday morning, because Friday the price just literally tanked. At one point we were down to $50. However, once it got down to $50.50, somebody came in the market and really started buying up, and they wanted to close the day, I believe, under 50. And at a certain point, they knew that they had just thrown too much money away just to beat the price down to $52 or $51.84. Some people say that was their objective, just to get it under 52. I don't think that was their objective. I think their objective was to go even lower. It was a COMEX delivery date. So we'll see how that all will play out. Obviously, there's a lot of silver flying right now to London, so it's going to be interesting to see as time goes on how this will all play out. Very well said, bro. I agree with you on the points here. Thank you so much, Matt. Gold and silver, it's looking good. Just because we had a pullback, nothing goes up in a straight line. I see a lot of jokes on Reddit, as somebody wrote, "Oh my word, I can't believe my investment's down by $2 already," and all of a sudden the person was just massive comment hit with comments basically saying, "Oh yeah, it's down $2, pack up, it's only up $2 for the week." And that's really what happened. We were up $4 for the week last week, but then that $2 drop, really they were trying to erase the gains for the week to try to discourage people, I believe, and I'm sure it did discourage some people. There were probably people on the sidelines getting ready to buy maybe over the weekend, and then that happened, and maybe they just changed their mind. So we'll see how this is going to play out. Excuse me. I will be honest, I am extremely excited for the markets to open on Sunday night in overseas trading. Let's see, Carmelo. Good morning, T. Recently picked up 4 ounces. Nice. And you picked it up at an awesome time, I believe. If you recently picked it up, as in Friday or Saturday, you did really well if you picked that up, because prices are down. People need money. They're willing to let their silver go even a little bit cheaper than they might otherwise. But how long will this last? We don't know. We'll see how this will play out. Definitely opportunities are out there. So great video, bro. Still stacking, but working on food pantry and supplies more right now. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I've always said on this channel, the first and foremost thing that people need to do is prep food and water. Find a way, have a food and water plan. That means at least some bare minimum simple stuff. You could survive off beans and rice. It's going to be miserable, but you could survive off it. And you need water. Understand what you could do to get water. There's a lot of different things you can do. You could buy some kind of filtration system. You could end up even getting the resources that you would need to set up a bucket filtration. What does that entail? You'd send water through gravel, through sand, through charcoal, through different filters, and then it would come out. And once it comes out, then you would still probably want to boil it, or you could set up some kind of a distilled system where you just put a bunch of water in some sort of a pot, and then you rig up a catcher over it where the steam goes up through a pipe, cools, and then drips into some sort of a collection. Or you could even look into certain ways of how to collect water from dew off of plants, where you get a bunch of plants. You could end up using vines for a straining filtering method, where you take a vine, you cut it, you put one end in a bucket of river water, and you put the other end in a clean gallon jug, tape the ends, and let it go. It will pass the water through for you. A vine will pass the water from the base all the way up to the end of the vine. So you're basically keeping the vine kind of alive, even though it's not the natural way to keep it alive, but it's also working for you. It's going to take what it needs, and it's going to spit out the rest of the water clean as it goes through all the membranes. So understand different water methods. Obviously, if you've got some 5-gallon jugs, get some 5-gallon jugs, prepare that. Once you've got food and water, then it comes down to security. You need some sort of security to protect it. Protect your family, yourself, and your resources. If you don't have anything, you don't have food, you don't have silver, you don't have protection, you don't have nothing, well, then you really don't need protection if you ain't got nothing. I hate to say that like that, but once you get a certain amount of food and water, you got something to protect. Then after you've got food, water, and protection, then focus on precious metals, maybe some medicine, maybe some fun things, some good things. And just kind of keep building off of that. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with preparing your baseline stack. You can't eat silver. I will always say that. However, I will also say that people will take gold and silver to trade for stuff that you didn't think of. I have a plan that would produce a lot of water in a day, and it's just me, essentially. However, I would expect that I would probably bring a couple of family members in to take in. I would definitely get my son over there if something bad happened, and kind of go from there, and possibly even pick up some other people. So it's if you've got the knowledge, the understanding, obviously, though, people have to somewhat prepare a little bit. But who knows? A lot of people will try to stay. If things start breaking down, they'll try to stay in their house right up until the last minute, and until they run out of everything that they need. And once they run out of food or water, then they're definitely going to be looking for somewhere to go and a plan. So I know everybody has different opinions on what to do at that point, and that's going to be an individual basis. Me, I have lists of work for people to do. No one is just going to come in and hang out. I expect that I would need people anyway. One person can't do it on their own, so who knows? I could probably devote a whole video to just prepping and preparing and talk about some of the stuff that I recommend that people would do. And that's not financial advice. I mean, that's just, be prepared. I mean, so who knows? Let's see. Buffalo Silver, good morning. Thank you so much for watching Buffalo Silver. Gregory, morning. Just picked up yesterday, 8 ounces. Nice. Pick it up when you can. Look for the deals and just keep stacking. Let's see. CEO, what's up, buddy? Hope you're having a great day. Just got 1/10 ounce American Silver Eagle. 406. Okay, so okay. I kind of missed part of that there. That's why I was like, it threw me when I saw ASE instead of AGE. Just picked up a 1/10 ounce gold AGE for $465. I think you did all right with that. I don't see a lot of stuff in that range. We did see it dip a little. I know some people have asked me, well, that makes it $4,650 an ounce. But here's the thing. There's premiums on it. No matter where you buy it, you're going to pay some kind of a premium. So that's not horrible. You're picking up what you can when you can. You also picked up 6 silver rounds at spot. That is a phenomenal deal. Take advantage of spot opportunities that are out there. A lot of people are needing money right now. They're cashing in, and you know, you can pick up what you can. I'm hoping to pick up a little more next week. We'll see how that plays out. I'm gonna have to really go through my stack, go through my coin collection. I'm gonna liquidate some more stuff. I think I got a bundle of $2 bills. I'm gonna be letting that go. Just different stuff that I'm like, why am I keeping it? You know what I mean? Let's see here. Been stacking for 3.5 years. Glad I started when I did. Holding long term, absolutely. Definitely keep stacking. Don't be afraid to hold long term. A lot of people right now, they're giving up their hands, and they think we've hit a top, and it's just a matter of time. That's kind of why I made that short video that I did, because so many people let go of what they've built up because we've seen 50 and then get crashed down, and then we've seen 50 and get crashed down, and they just assume this is going to be like that. Here's the thing. If we go, if we go too low, people are going to buy it up. There's too much money in the system now. As soon as it comes down, people are ready to buy, whether it's countries, whether it's individuals, whatever. And so I think the opportunity is running out. Let's see. All we have to do is our part. Stay stacking. Keep talking silver. Taking silver out of circulation. Absolutely. There's not really a whole lot of silver right now in actual circulation. But keep it in the country. Keep it in the country. A lot of it is flying out of the country right now. Who knows? We'll see how that plays out. I think if New York starts buying up silver contracts and people stop shorting it, but I think the shorting process is by design. I would not be convinced. Think about this for a minute. And this may sound far-fetched to some of y'all. If I was an elite player overseas in London, I'm going to look out for London. If I'm an elite player here in the United States, I'm going to look out for the United States. I'm just a small-time nobody, though. But needless to say, if I was in London, what I would do is open up a New York brokerage account, and I would start shorting the heck out of silver. If I was a big player, I would short the heck out of the silver here, and I would let the London go up. Meanwhile, that silver would start flowing to London, just the way it is right now. And whoever has the resources in the end are going to be the winners. They need to start raising the price of silver here in the United States by any means. Really, by any means. We need the resources here. We need the oil. We need the lithium. We need the nickel. We need the copper. We need the silver, the gold. They're only focusing on gold right now. That's why you're seeing so much gold flowing into the United States. I think they're missing the priority, which actually should be silver. But who knows? If they don't have any gold, then maybe they're doing the right thing because they're going to try to cover their butt. Jack, thanks. I am retired, but over time I noticed successful people took action. When an opportunity presents itself, those that sat on their hands went by the wayside. I was a freelancer for 40 years. Just my observation, silver is still a bargain, I think. And I would agree with you, Jack. I think, first of all, a lot of people sit on the sidelines. They sit on their hands. They don't want to do nothing. They're afraid if they take action, they're going to take the wrong action. And what they see is the account, the bank account, the dollars that they've worked their life away. They've gave up the best of their life, their healthiest years, to accumulate dollars in paper in a bank account. And if they've got it buried in their backyard or they've got it under their mattress, they're still in the same boat. They're in dollars. Those dollars are losing value faster and faster. I know too many people that are heavily in debt, and if I try to say anything to them and help them, I hear answers like, oh, you're too obsessed with money. It's not that I'm obsessed with money. It's that I'm making a plan to be prepared later in life. And I really believe what's coming is the opportunity of a lifetime. This is something that very few generations have this opportunity. Think about when you were born, when you grew up, when you worked, and now we're going into a changing system. Very few people are lucky enough to be in a changing system. You take Mexico in 93 when they whacked 3 zeros off of the peso. 1,000 pesos equaled 1 nuevo peso. That was an opportunity of a lifetime. Very few people seen it coming. And the few that did see it coming, even fewer of them took action. You have an opportunity to take action. We are seeing the same things play out right now. I'll never forget trying to tell a friend not too long ago, and I said, we're on the same path as Venezuela. No, you said that last year too, T. You know, you've been saying that for a while now. Okay, maybe I have been. But at the end of the day, are we a step closer? Venezuela didn't happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. Why? Because if it happens overnight, people essentially don't get desensitized to it. You have to slowly try to play it out. Try to take action. Try to position yourself once you know what you're going to do. Then they vote on it and they change the system. You think when this comes, I'm telling you right now, everybody is going to be prepared for it on their side. The high-ups, the Congress people, they know what's coming. They will be prepared. Maybe they don't know yet that it's coming because it could just be a few people's plan in the back corner, and maybe they're taking action. And then once they roll the bill out and then it gets voted on, before it even gets voted on, these people are going to read it a week before probably, and then they're going to take action over that week. And then they'll be fine voting on it. Yeah. Destroy the money. Reset the system. But they'll be prepared. When you start seeing these people just dumping everything, that's it. Same with stocks. When you see stocks just start tanking, that's a sign. The system's almost over. We're seeing gold and silver going up too fast right now to not have something happening. People that don't see it, they're in denial, or I don't know, they're just totally not paying attention. GETX got another fractional American Gold Eagle on its way, plus another Silver Eagle too. Nice. Always like to have an older or 2 or 3 coming my way. And I'm sorry, I said older, an order. My eyes are starting to get blurry. Late at night, my eyes just tend to, I don't know, they just get blurry. I don't know what it is. So yeah, some people, they always like to have an order. They make these orders. They don't have to be big orders. They just keep the orders flowing. Me, I prefer to buy now if I can find a coin shop, a shop or something, especially right now because people are hurting for money. There's a lot of opportunities out there. Let's see, Friday SmackDown happening right now. I had a feeling it would dip. Glad I decided not to buy this week. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, Sean. Take advantage of the opportunity. Hopefully you're buying over the weekend, though, because I really think this dip is going to be short-lived. And here's the thing. I tell you guys my honest opinion. I don't come on here and try to hype up, oh, silver's going to go to the moon instantly. In fact, I've even said this year I've called 2 dips, but I said there would be 3. One of them did not pan out at all. And so, you know, I mean, I'm not all pro silver. I think in the long run, it doesn't matter. Silver's going to go higher. In the short run, I look for dips. I look for opportunities. And when those opportunities come, I spend a little heavy. I expect I'll probably go a little heavy this week if we see any kind of a pullback even more. But I'm not convinced we're going to see much more of a pullback personally. But you never know what could happen. We're going to know tonight when the market's open. I'm excited to see if we see a push up right off the bat back up to 54. Let's see. I buy on eBay because I have the protection from both eBay and the credit card. And if you route that credit card through PayPal, you actually get triple protection. If you shop around, it's cheaper than the big online dealers. When I figure in my cash back rebates, and it's from the big online dealers. In some cases, yeah, some of these big online dealers, they do have good deals. You can get good stuff on eBay. The only problem with eBay, not that you're going to lose out, but let's say hypothetically, you took advantage this weekend of a big eBay deal. You said, oh, wow, this is a good deal. I'm going to get 3 tubes of Silver Eagles. I mean, this is a buying opportunity. You put in your order. You pay it. Then you get an email. It's on the way. We're shipping it out Monday. Here's the route, the tracking number. Sunday night rolls around. Overseas starts buying right off the bat. Markets open. We're back over 54 on Monday. Your package gets shipped out Monday morning. The price continues to rise. Monday, Tuesday, we see another jump. Now we're at 55. Wednesday, we're at 56. Your package rolls in. You get the stuff. You open it up, and you're like, what the heck? These are fake. Oh, we'll refund your money. That's the only problem that I've seen. They refund your money and you missed the opportunity. I like to prioritize person-to-person sales if I can. eBay is nice because it does have opportunities. I've met some great people through eBay, but I will look up a place. I will look up a store. I'll look up their information. I'll even go so far as to hunt down the store, verify that they actually have a store, whatever the case may be. Some of these people have brick and mortar stores, but you need to be careful. There's a lot of fakes on eBay. You probably won't lose your money, but you could miss out on opportunity, and that's just as bad as losing money in a way. Gold is money. You say that $100K in the bank, the man is just sitting there doing nothing. But that's not true. That $100K is busy losing value every single day. You're absolutely right. It's not doing nothing. It is losing value. Back when he put that in there, probably 15 years ago, literally. He put that 100 grand in there 15 years ago when he was working his butt off every day. And as time went on, he slowed down on working. He's getting older. And now he just does what's called shutdown jobs. A big company needs to shut down a power plant. They've got to clean it out, shut down stuff, whatever the case may be. He goes. He does the work. He works like maybe a month or 2 months or whatever, and then he comes home and he built that 100 back up to 120. Then he might burn it down a little bit, get it down to maybe 80, and then he does another shutdown and runs it back up again, or whatever the case may be. When I talked to him, he said he tries to always have 100K in there. But, you know, I'm hoping one of these days I'm going to get through to him, and he's just going to break down and even buy a monster box. One monster box of generic silver, and just watch the price slowly climb. I remember when you could buy a monster box at $16 an ounce, and I mean there was an opportunity there. Essentially, you're talking, what is that? Is that $8,000? No, that can't be $8,000. Is it? $16? Is that $8,000? No, I've got to be mistaken on that. That sounds way too low. 500 times 16. It is $8,000. Darn, dude, that sounds way too low looking at that. Think about that. buying a monster box for $8,000. And I know a guy that bought 4 of them when it was $16 an ounce, no premium. A 4th of July weekend, special pricing that weekend, bought 2 boxes of Eagles, 2 boxes of generic. Obviously, he paid a little bit more for the Eagles than he did the generic rounds because there was a premium on the Eagles. But I think the premium that weekend was only like 79 cents. But 79 cents, here's the thing. When you have an ounce of silver at $16, 79 cents is a good percentage of a premium. When you've got an ounce of silver at $52, 79 cents would be a drop in the bucket, but you don't find ounces of silver that often for 79-cent premiums. So, people are missing out. I think we're going to just continue, like I said, to go even higher. So, next comment. I'm completely unnerved. I want the price to be stable and my neighbors to be okay. Lenders are beginning to bust. Oh, hey. Hold on a minute. Who just subscribed? Thank you so much, TW, for subscribing right now. You just subscribed right while I'm doing the video for Sunday morning. So, TW, thank you so much. I appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. It really helps out more than you know. What was I saying? Okay, continuing on. Lenders are beginning to burst. Car repos are happening. House foreclosures are happening. Let's see, beggars just around the corner, rallying up gangs in Chicago. Not worth a silver surge. Let me continue that down. That's just, how do you pronounce that? Nullified by inflation. Anyways, paychecks cleared. The old lot of 39 sterling rounds, just that would be perfectly to fill 2 wildlife sets. Oh, that's so funny because I actually had a wildlife set. I loved it. Jacked up to $60 an ounce, but same old man had a full set with matching serial numbers and what appeared to be original wooden rack. Thought it wasn't mentioned in the description, though it wasn't mentioned in the description, for $54. Yeah, people times 36. People aren't raising their prices as quick. Some people don't even know what's going on. I asked someone the other day if they knew what a silver dime or a silver quarter is worth, and they didn't know. A lot of people don't know. It's hard to keep up with. I mean, there was a while there when I said on a YouTube video 16x, and someone's like, dude, you need to recheck that. Yeah, so people aren't always paying attention. Quite happy with that. Not worried at all. Spot drop to 51.85. I don't want to cut that out because I think 51.85, we will see 52 for sure within probably an hour of the market's opening on Sunday night. I'd hope for a future drop, but I'd rather put my money on Monday morning. Years, God knows what. Rather put your money on silver than God knows what. Okay, so a couple things to talk about here. Lenders going bust, car repos, house foreclosures. That's just signs that the economy's having trouble. People have been living off credit cards for too long. They've been able to borrow money for interest rates for too long. This system cannot continue. We knew this was coming. The fact that silver is going up, it does have to do with that, but it kind of doesn't. My opinion, the silver is going up because everything is going up. The money is failing. That's a big reason why. It's not all this stuff going up. It's the money is failing. People aren't updating their silver prices as quick as they should. They can't keep up with it. I talked to one person on eBay that received a bunch of negative feedbacks because the price was too volatile, and they refused to sell when we saw a $4 climb in a day and a half. And so they refused to sell. They canceled the order and just said, I'm sorry, here's your money back. They refunded it. Do I agree with that? Probably not. But on the flip side, I mean, people are going to complain about stuff like that, period. If I put an order in, I expect I'm going to get the order. It's not my fault if you can't keep up with the prices. It does make it difficult. I understand. Here's the thing, though. If I buy something for 40 and I say I'm going to sell it for 45, and all of a sudden it's selling everywhere else for 47, and I'm even buying it for 45, I understand it stings to let it go, but I certainly wouldn't want a bad feedback over it. And each person is going to have to make their decision. It looks bad. How do you explain that? We decided not to sell because the price climbed too much, too quick. I'll be honest. I pick deals up sometimes. If I know a place, the price jumped, and I go in there and I knew they had it. I knew they had that ounce of silver marked at $50, and all of a sudden the price climbs 3 days. You can bet I'm going to be there when the doors open. I'm going to walk straight over to it, and if it's still there, I'm going to look at it and be like, can I take a look at that? Yeah, I'm going to get it. But a lot of places will prepare for that. They'll run their prices up. They're prepared to sit on it for a while. My opinion, if I owned a business like that, I would want to rotate the stuff as quick as I can. Money in, money out. Hurry up, make a profit, and move on to the next item. Let's see. I buy 80s and 90s U.S. commemorative $1 coins, $37 each. Below melt. I'll have to look that up. Are they that high? 37 sounded almost like that was melt right now, but I guess the melt on a commemorative coin probably would be higher on those. That makes sense now that I think about it. Below melt, excuse me, that are in Cole Morgan bin. Yeah, I pick up Cole Morgans all the time now. Same with the peace dollars in Mint State. I try to target that stuff for 30 even sometimes if I can. I'm just not sure with the commemorative dollars how much silver is in that. I'm not sure if a commemorative dollar is the same as a Morgan dollar, if it has the same amount of silver in it. Still in the original capsule, but out of the mint box. Yeah, a lot of times they lose the mint boxes and they let that stuff go a little cheaper, but it's still silver. My favorite coin is the 1987 We the People 200-year anniversary 1787 Constitution. So I actually picked up a bunch of these a while back. I'm going to have to look at what the melt price is on that. I'm going to have to look and see. I think a commemorative dollar would be the same amount of silver as a Morgan or a peace dollar. If that's the case, then I know the price of a Morgan and a peace dollar. So anything under that would just be icing. Someone asked me yesterday if I wanted to get some of those commemorative, and I said no, just because I don't really like them per se, but maybe I should have said yes. I may go back and ask the person what he wants for him, if he's still sitting on them. Just be like, hey, I was just thinking, would you tell me you were asking for those? I'm just curious. I don't really like them, but I never like anything I'm buying. That's always what I say. I don't like it, but it is silver. I can't believe I'm hearing people complain about junk silver. This just goes to show that even stackers sometimes get lost in the sauce. Absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, I love opportunity right now for junk silver. I love they're not buying it because they're making it to where the market is getting flooded with it now, and opportunity is there. If a coin shop has too much inventory of junk silver, then that gives you leverage to buy. Absolutely. I buy junk silver anywhere from $3 to $4 under spot because in the end, when this is all said and done, they're going to be begging you for some of that junk silver that they refuse to buy now. Yeah, this is a temporary thing. This will go away, and when it does, people are going to want your junk silver, and they're going to be willing to pay you a higher dollar for it. And, I mean, a lot of people like it for barter. It was only a couple months ago where people were paying high premiums for quarters and dimes, because if the world comes to an end, you can barter a dime for a loaf of bread, whereas you may not want to pull out a full ounce of silver. Same with the gram of gold theory. Grams of gold versus, but yet people will buy grams of silver for $6 a gram. I mean, but they don't want to buy a silver dime for 10 for $30, 11 for $30, $3 a piece roughly. That's crazy to me. Experts are all over the place with predictions. Those pushing gold, others pushing silver. Just ignore the noise and stack to your original stacking plan. I would definitely agree with that, Baykeeper. Stack. We're going to see a lot of this pan out. And yeah, a lot of people are out there. I think silver's still looking good. Gold, I think, looks good, but I would rather have my money in silver. When it comes down, you do take a bigger hit, but how much higher is silver going to go before that hit comes? I think we could even see silver go 40-1 at some point down the road, and if that's the case, people will start feeling left out. 40-1, they're going to recognize that gold did better than silver. I'm sorry, that silver did better than gold. They're going to want to trade their gold to you and get silver instead. And when that comes, you'll be prepared with silver. If you have no silver, it does not matter if it's $100 an ounce. If hyperinflation started and 5 years from now a loaf of bread is $500, your 1 ounce will buy food for a couple days. And that's exactly what a lot of people don't realize. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. If you're single and don't eat much, or eat cheap, like T and his ramen noodles and hot dogs, you might eat for a week on 1 ounce of silver. Those who live in a country, in the country, and use propane, you may understand. You prepay during the summer at low prices for your propane to be delivered in the winter. So that's funny. I actually did that with oil up in New England. When I lived in Maine, I actually negotiated out my oil deal and started paying it in the summer. And some people were like, that's crazy. I wanted to have it on hand. I locked in my price, so that way if we had a bad winter and prices went through the roof. The only thing is, if you lock in, from my experience, if I locked in I was going to buy 500 gallons, I had to buy that 500 gallons. But I could get it, in the summer. I mean, you don't want gas and oil or whatever in the summer, but some people will fill their tanks in the summer and go into the winter. Silver ask right now is $53.52, down 87 cents. So that was early in the day, Chris, because we went down a whole lot lower than that. But yeah, I think an ounce of silver is definitely going to feed someone for a week in some cases. And even today, if you're not a prima donna, you're willing to eat rice, beans, chicken. Chicken is cheap. An ounce of silver right now will feed you now probably for a week. Really, it will. Bag of chicken is only $6 right now for a 10-pound bag of chicken. Rice is cheap. Beans are cheap. If you're buying discounted items at the grocery store with the yellow tags, there's a lot of opportunity there. I try to save as much money as I can right now because I want to be prepared. And when silver goes up, then I want to splurge. I want to splurge when other people are tight. I want to be tight when other people are splurging. Because those people, when they have to get tight because times are tough, they're going to be selling those toys off for cheap. And I want to be able to buy that stuff. Huge dip this morning. If anyone thought they missed the boat, this is your chance to get in. Absolutely. But I think a lot of people are going to sit on the sidelines still, and they're just going to miss out. Fear of missing out. Boat to rip. That's what I think too, Brandon. I think we're going to see a big run-up probably this week. But we'll see how it plays out. Let's see. Mercury is some shady. I don't know if that means the metal or what. Let's see. Throughout time, the further money got from gold and silver, the faster the downfall of a nation happened. This is 100% failure rate. The whole world is doing this now. There will be a great monetary reset that will revert the whole world back to asset-backed money. I'm willing to bet my life savings and my future wealth on it. Hold on that. Live below your means. Save any extra in hard, tangible assets that you can actually hold, like metal, land, real estate. The great monetary reset is just around the corner. Trust yourself. You know that something is wrong with the money right now. This is what's wrong. So, yeah. A great comment there. So I think everybody feels it. I really do believe that people understand something is wrong. Prices are out of whack. We're seeing gold go up. We're seeing silver go up to new all-time highs, but we're seeing crazy moves in the market. The volatility is up. If you can have a 5% drop in one day and a 4% drop the next, that just goes to show the volatility is there. Something is happening that is unnatural. A lot of people are going to miss the boat. There's no way around it, unfortunately. If you ain't getting prepared, you're probably going to miss the boat. I think that if you prepare for what's coming, like I said, time and time again, you can do very well. And I hope a lot of you guys are stacking. You're not just here for my charming personality, that you're taking advantage of these cheap prices. Let's see. Walks with me. I know you had asked me in a comment on another video how do you check if you're subscribed. In order to check if you're subscribed, under this video, while you're watching me, you can minimize the video so it's not full screen. And you can just look. If it says, let's see here, subscribe, then you're probably not subscribed. We're just going to pull up another person's channel at random real quick. Hold on one second. I'm just pulling up a random channel for a quick minute. Boom. We're going to go to my YouTube channel. And then we're going to click on home. And up. Nope. Can I do it here? Yeah, home. Oh, y'all get to see what kind of stuff I watch now. Who am I watching? But let's see who. Yeah, you can pretty well. Oh, I like Ray Dalio. When you click on their video, I'm gonna click on this one just for the heck of it. Hopefully he don't come after me for some sort of copyright claim. Oh shoot.
Ladies
oh, you know what?
I'm changing.
I'm actually not subscribed on this account right here. Oh, that's why it's not actually Ray Dalio's account. It's some off-the-wall person or some different person posting his stuff. If it says subscribe right below, then you're not subscribed. If you hit subscribe, I think it will say unsubscribe. If you, oh no, it'll do this. It'll just be like that if you're not. So that way you'll know if you're subscribed. If it says subscribe, hit that subscribe button because that means you're probably not. And I'm going to unsubscribe because I don't know this person and they're just uploading someone else's stuff. Which is nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if I watch his stuff, I'll just get my information directly from the source. Unless they're re-uploading my stuff, and then heck yeah, that's awesome because they're sharing my content, and I don't mind that. Let's see here. What's for yesterday about the government asking you just to sell silver to them? Oh, I think that was basically about my comment that I made in yesterday's video. That's big, a big no ask for today. The world economy is crashing. That is a big part of why silver and gold is doing what it's doing. What do better than a lot of countries, but that's not saying much until we get physical responsibility and this country. But I don't believe what happened because many of our politicians make way too much money on their little pet projects that they get us to fund 90% and 925. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have stopped right there. It's getting really late for me. Let's see. That they get us to fund their projects. 90%, 925, when 999 is hard to find, there will be a run on the other stuff. Okay, so let's break this down. Yeah, first of all, I can confirm our government here spends way too much money on pet projects. Miscellaneous stuff that I personally may or may not support. Some of the stuff I support the military, I support the wall, I support a lot of projects. I don't support the study of the seahorse in the Gulf of Mexico. I don't support the jellyfish content. I'm not worried about it. That's it. I don't support a lot of new liberal things. I am very conservative. I understand the government is going broke. Every project that we support costs money. The more we support, the less money we have. Does it make me a bad person? No. It just means that I understand we're going broke. You can't buy everything. You can't fund everything. Until they have financial responsibility, nothing is going to change. Excuse me. My comment yesterday, I don't know if that sentence was referring to my comment yesterday. All the government has to do is ask people to sell their silver. If they asked me tomorrow, sell your silver to the government, we will buy it from you at current spot price, plus maybe even $1 extra, and we will give it to you tax-free. I personally would sell part of my silver. Why? Because I could take all that money out. I could take it out tax-free, and essentially I could invest it in some other asset. There are other assets right now that I do like, but I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a ton of money. I've got to pick and choose the assets that I think are going to do the best. Do I think gold is a good asset? Absolutely. Do I think it's the best asset? No, I don't. I think silver is the best opportunity. For the next at least year from where we're at right now, I think silver is going to be the best asset. I would rather put extra money into silver right now than gold. But like I said, I think gold will do very well. I just don't want to do well. I want to do the best. And you're absolutely right. At the end of that comment, you wrote 90%, 925. When 999 runs out or is harder to come by, they will buy that stuff up. Here's the thing. They're already running out. And I think once they beat through these 50s and people realize that silver is going to keep going up, that they don't understand the importance of silver. I think they will learn the hard way at 60 or 65. And the same people that have been selling at 30, 40, 50 are going to be the buyers now. They're going to feel left out. Why? I've seen it happen in so many different stuff. I've seen it happen in Bitcoin. I've seen it happen in Dogecoin. I've seen it happen in real estate. I've seen it happen in a lot of different stuff. People think we're at the high right now. People are selling. Their refineries are getting overburdened. They're buying this stuff and they're sitting on it. They can't afford to hold this stuff too long. They need to get it off their books. They probably would do good if they were just buying this stuff and keeping it on their books. But the thing is, they're borrowing a lot of money to buy this stuff, and that money comes at a cost. And so that cost essentially means they can't do it. They just can't do it. They've got to figure out what they're going to buy, and they're picky and choosing. And they're choosing 999 fine. And that gives us an opportunity to pick up the crap. Excuse me, the scraps. Yeah, I said crap at first, but then I shifted it to scrap. So yeah, here we are able to get 90% cheap. I mean, I picked up 3/4 yesterday for $20 silver, and I didn't just pick up three. I picked up a bunch, but they were 3 for every 20. So to me, that was a good deal. He doesn't want to speculate. Another guy that understands, he buys, he sells, but he don't want to speculate. Let's see, T-Square. Here is something to think about. Nothing tangible, such as metal, can be used to pay for transactions on the internet, especially international purchases. I know you dislike crypto, but how will people pay for purchases if and when the fiat money and banks fail? Buy American. Buy local. I know that's not what people want to hear. In the old days, we used gold and silver as money. And it kept the money in the neighborhood. Who knows? If you're a big enough stacker, oh, by the way, this is the same problem the BRICS has right now. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm convinced. Oh, no. I just accidentally shot that all the way up. Uh-oh. I may have to work my way up from here now. Yep. I'm going to have to work my way up. So here's the thing. I joke when I say buy local. But buying local has a lot of impact. It keeps the money in the neighborhood. People will barter. But your question specifically stated buy something on the internet when money fails. I'm not convinced that the money, for say, we will have a central bank digital currency. If the dollar fails, they're going to have a crypto. Why do I need to buy, we'll say, Bitcoin, when I can just use some random coin? I don't have to use Bitcoin. I can use any crypto and get it somewhere else if they're willing to accept it. Bitcoin, I think, is just overvalued. It's not that I don't like crypto. I love, let me put it this way, I love the idea of blockchain. I love being able to look in someone's wallet and see how much they have, even though I don't know whose wallet it is. You can pull up any wallet, look at it, see their transactions, see what they're buying. I'll give you a scenario. You see a wallet that has a ton of Bitcoin in it. Well, what else is that person, buying? I mean, a lot of their trades, are they constantly moving funds around? That's the good thing about blockchain. It has a lot of transparency, knowing that someone has what they say they have. I could tell you I'm a millionaire and sit here and brag and brag and brag, and there's no real way you would know. However, well, you probably would, because I'm not buying like I'm a millionaire. I wouldn't be buying a couple silver dimes if I was a millionaire. But that just goes to show, blockchain is good. It's a great payment method, but any of them, any crypto can be replaced by another crypto fairly quick. And that's a very good question. But I think you have to understand another crypto could take over another one. We need the internet. We need search engines, but we don't need AOL. Who took over AOL? Google? And so on and so on. I mean, stuff gets taken over. So that's my thoughts on that. Let's see. Continuing on, I've got to work my way up now because I don't know where I was in them comments. But the Amish are inept of diamond hands. Yeah, the Amish are good at saving money. They do a great job, and they produce great stuff. They produce stuff they need. So, that's it. I mean, Amish is the way of life. I would love to meet an Amish lady and settle into an Amish community and be Amish. But that doesn't really happen like that, let's be honest. Either you're born into it or you're not. I don't think anybody can join the Amish, really. And I'd probably have to give up the internet. Although some Amish people, I guess, do have internet. And some people are, closet. They have the internet and they just don't tell anybody. But who knows? I actually watched a YouTuber that he says he's Amish and has a cell phone and does YouTube videos. I had seen a couple of his videos. Okay, another great educational video. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that, Ken. Let's see. I that's a link. I got to click on that link afterwards because I actually have to run that link before I can click on it. So I can't really do much on that one. Yes, it is coming, T. So many duped. Roller coaster ride continues. Going for more QNT this late morning. Let's see, Robert. As much as Rich Dad Poor Dad in 1997 made another impact, I'm not sure what that video. I can't click links right now because everything I click has to be run. Let's see. My homie cashed out to me when silver hit $20, close to 500 ounces. He tells me the time, how sad he is, and wishes he hadn't. So long, sucker! I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's sad. Hey, you shouldn't have cashed out. You can buy back in now. $50 is not overpriced, in my opinion. He essentially cashed out. He got 1x. Now he's going to have to pay 2.5x to get it back. There's opportunity. Keep stacking, my friend. That's what I would say to him. Start stacking again. Let's see here. Stacking. I'm sticking to the stacking program you showed me. I'm not worried at all. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Happy Stacker. I appreciate that. So Happy Stacker actually started following this channel when his dad passed away. It was kind of a sad story. His dad passed away and never got to see silver run up. He had been stacking silver for who knows how long, and he stacked it, and the price climbed. It got up to like $17, $18, maybe $20, and his dad passed away. And he actually wrote to me. He looked online why anybody would buy this stuff and stumbled across my channel and pulled up the email, sent me an email wanting to sell his stack. And I explained in numerous emails to him, your dad knew what he was doing. This stuff is real money. It's $20. If you need the money, sell a few ounces. I'm not going to sit here and tell someone if they're going hungry, don't sell. But if you don't really need the money, if you're working, it wasn't his stack before, which means he was probably doing just fine before, working and paying the bills and stuff. I said, I would save it if you can. Your dad wanted you to have it. He recognized it as wealth. You're carrying on something that he started. This is something I have told my son numerous times. When I pass away, don't dump my stack. Here's a list of names of people that I personally know and help and trade with. Contact them, one of them, if you need a little money. Sell a little bit. You need to pay a car payment or something? Sell a little bit. The AC broke down? Sell a little bit. Don't sell my whole stack instantly. Save in silver. Save in sound money. So after talking to him a while, he decided he was going to hang on to it. And I was happy that he did that. I watched the price go up regularly. 20, 22, 23, 29, 30, 31. I got another email from him one day. He sent me a video of the whole stack. And it was him filming and another person in it. I was a little weary seeing, because you've got to be careful who you show your stack to. And it was a great looking stack. And now he firmly recognizes that stack's going up every day. That money is working for him when he is sleeping. I've had people that personally know me reach out to me and say, do you realize how much money your stack went up in value over the last year? But trust me, I realize it. And I don't even know how many ounces I got, but I know it's up. And that's kind of what you start to realize when you really understand it. It's not a matter of ups and downs. It's a matter of real money. The dollar will continue to go down. Silver might shoot up to 60 and pull back to 50. It might shoot up to 55, pull back down to 45. But every time I look at these numbers, in a year from now, it's always higher. And it's higher than what it would have been if you had sold it and put it in a bank account. It's definitely higher than what it would have been if someone was to sell it and go and just party or whatever. It is money. And Happy Stacker realizes that. So when I see his comments, I'll always remember that story that he shared with me. And I feel good that I believe I helped him. And I think now, 20 years, he's going to have some money. Because I don't see any scenario where silver is not $100 in the next 2 years. And I'm being generous. I'm really being conservative, I should say, saying that we will see $100 silver in the next 2 years. And that's conservative numbers. That's not even counting the high outlooks of $200, $300, $400, $500 an ounce. When people do the math and they look at their stack and they multiply it by $100, they've got some money. Pretty decent pullback. I woke up at 2 a.m. and checked the spot price, saw it getting hit, and bought 2 ounces of platinum. Grabbed another 3 ounces on my credit card. Payment clears. Yeah, I've been hitting my 0% interest credit card lately, picking up a few more ounces here and there. Not platinum. I'm not a huge fan of platinum. I actually had someone ask me if I wanted some platinum the other day. He said he'd give me a great deal under spot, and I turned it down just because, I know everything's going up, but there again, I'm after the number one asset. I believe the number one asset will be silver in growth, profit, percentage. So let's see, 25.14 last weekend. I picked up 24 point. It's got to be a timestamp. Last weekend I picked up 6 silver eagles, 4 silver lunar snakes, 1/10 ounce gold eagle. Yesterday I picked up 2 colorized silver 1/4 ounce silver lunar snakes. Ooh, yeah, I picked up some of them. I picked up some colorized monkeys one day. 1 silver panda, 1 maple gram, and a Morgan dollar. I'm guessing that 25.14 must have been the timestamp of let me know what y'all are picking up. I know you didn't pick that up at 20.14 an ounce, or 25.14 an ounce. Let's see, 17.15 timestamp. Capitalism is 2 people making a deal and then each of them bragging to the other how they got the better end of the deal. Yeah, that's a nice way of saying it the way I was taught. I was told the definition of a good deal is when 2 people think they're blanking the other one. Yeah, if both people think they're getting the upper hand, that definitely is the definition of a good deal. Everybody's happy. Silver has dropped to $50 while watching this. May have to buy a bunch of silver dimes. Here's the thing. I don't even know what I really paid for my silver dimes. 11 of them for $30. I know I got a good deal, but I don't even know how cheap that was at the moment. I may have to look that up. Let's see. 37.25. You must do a video going back over the naysayers' comments and just how many. Okay, so it's funny because I can't show you guys this short because it has music on it. But in this short, it says to be continued going higher. It's actually the same short as this one where you see the $40 in the clown. They're the same video, but I was disappointed because I posted it at the wrong time. I was excited to put it up. But in this, it shows the price of silver slowly climbing because I saved pictures. And I put all those pictures that I've been saving together. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. At 30, I even put 30 and a little clip that said, so tell me how you're all holding to see silver go under 20 again. You're going to buy it back under 20. It never happened. And then 35, 40, 45, 50, so on and so on and so on. It's paired with music. And then at the very end, I showed just how much. I put a little meme there that said, hey, anybody got any more of that $20 silver? You got to check that out. It's hilarious, the shorts. So it's definitely worth watching. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any more cheap silver. I think the days of cheap silver are over. I may start piecing the naysayers together, and trying to do some kind of a video or a short video just on the naysayers. And really all I would have to do is go back a year when it was like just hitting $33, and start reading the comments, and every video had someone in the comments that said something along the lines of, it's going to be right back under 30, back down to 20 before you know it. Sell it now. And just comment on all of them. I'm not picking up any silver. I want all in over the last 4 years because I knew inflation was set into the stacked deck. Inflation is the money supply, pure and simple. Yeah, I even put on that short video, I even put a little thing about inflation. I think inflation is going to get a whole lot worse, but some people are just in denial on that too. They don't understand what's happening. Let's see. I got a backdated American Silver Eagle for $55. A great opportunity there. If you can pick up something, $55, you're talking $3 over spot for a Silver Eagle. Good opportunity. I picked up 6 American Silver Eagles for $53 each. I actually picked up the other day, I picked up 2, I think, for $50 each. But that was from someone that they were beat up and they were going to send it off to get melted. And I asked what he would probably get for him. He said, I'll probably get $2 under spot, maybe. And he said, and he has to send them in and a lot of other stuff. It's a little bit of a headache when you send stuff into the refineries. I said, can I just give you the money? He said, yeah. And I got him. So I was pretty happy with that. I got $10 in face of Washington quarters for $260. That's 26x. So pretty cool there. 26x. Put it at $650. That's really good. $650 a quarter. Did very good on that. Just a couple weeks ago, I found a couple Type 2s. I'm wondering if Type 2s mean Type 2 Silver Eagles. That I'm not sure about. And that will be the final comment, I think, because right here, T-square, something to think about. Nothing tangible such as metal can be used to pay transactions over the internet, especially international. So yeah, we actually talked about that, and that's where the comments just went way out of whack and plunged all the way down. Taking a quick look at yesterday's video comments, there's not a lot. I think there was only about 10, so I'm just going to answer them, or 10 that I see right now that I haven't replied to yet, so I figure I'll just hit them real quick. Howdy T-square, just a new, I just subscribed. Thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate that. I wonder if you go by Jimmy or Jim. I'm just going to say Jim because I see Jim as the end, so it might be last name, first name. So thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate that. Definitely keep on stacking. Every Thursday comments I read on the Friday morning. I did a little bit different this weekend, just because I had forgotten on Friday because of all the craziness. Eli, excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Can't thank you enough. John W. How's it going, buddy? Hope you're having a great day. I would love to see the weekend videos come back. I will definitely listen to anyone that has information on metal investing. So, John, if you caught this video and you're watching me read this comment right now, leave a comment below. I appreciate you saying that because I question if I want to come back doing the weekend videos because 7 days a week is a little difficult. But if people are going to watch them, I will definitely do them. Investing in and anything related to it. I like to think that no matter what I know or think I know, I always will see if there is better or more effective way of collecting. I picked up a 1/2 ounce Oklahoma Goldback and a couple 1 ounce copper rounds, $8 shipped. and it's from a seller I've used for about 2 years. I made an offer, and they accepted. I'm almost always trying to jive the price of metals. Um, Thank you so much, and I appreciate the time. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you writing the comment. It sounds like you got a great pickup. Copper rounds, a lot of people like them. Personally, I don't like to pay too much on them, but a gold back right now, to my understanding, even a half one, is going to be $4 easy. So you got $8 shipping. That means you got your copper rounds. I mean, copper rounds are easily, people are selling them for $3 online. You can find them cheaper. Excuse me. You can find them cheaper if you're willing to buy like 100 of them. But if you're going to do that, you might as well just pick up copper. I know I've got a bunch of copper in my garage that I'm planning on cashing in this week, especially if I can still get those dimes at 11 silver dimes for $30. I'm going to probably sell my copper, but it takes time to sell the copper. I've got to essentially strip it. So we'll see. Even though I think copper is going to go up even higher, someone might ask why I would sell it. There again, it comes back down to the what do I think is going to do better. If the economy was to tank, we could see a good pullback on copper. But I don't think we'll see a huge pullback on silver. The silver dollar that I mentioned I bought were peace dollars. A little to nowhere. Why buy sliders? I like the Saturday video. Yeah, and now you're going to like the Sunday video. Yeah, if you can pick up a good peace dollar, lightly worn, easy to see, that's a good opportunity, especially if you get a good price on it. Great video. Thank you so much. Let's see. No more. I'm not sure. I actually had to Google this word because I didn't know how to pronounce it. It's actually a French word. But it means translation in French. So no more translation. That means that the captions must have gone away at the bottom, or the words. So hopefully that's a temporary thing and they'll be back soon. We'll see. I'll have to look into that and see if they did go away. Let's see. Silver is still over $50 an ounce. I can't believe people are freaking out. I'm definitely buying today before it jumps back up on Monday. Absolutely. That's pretty much what I'm trying to do too. And I shouldn't even say Monday, Sunday night. I actually called the guy and said, hey, if I can put together some extra money this weekend, will you open up on Sunday for 5 minutes, just so I can pick up either some more quarters or one of them bars? And he said, just give me a call. He's not a coin shop, the guy I got it from. He has another business, but he also picks up stuff like that here and there. And so when he gets it, he'll sell it, and I know that about him, so that's why I hit him whenever I see him. And, hey, you got anything? Let's see. Barbara coins were the Nadar of the U.S. coins. Dimes, quarters, and halves, all the same fiat design. The Seated Liberty was the last. Okay, so the Barbara coins, that must have been before the Mercuries. That's what that's referring to, the question that I had about. I don't know what was before the Mercury. The Seated Liberty was the last, was at least a bit more interesting. Even the seemingly endless monetary of the early clad years had vastly more character. So that's mostly talking about the designs of the coins. Personally, I just like the Mercury dimes because old people that have money today recognize the Mercury dimes from when they were a kid. My grandfather gave me one. It has sentimental value to them. I lost it over the years. I would love to pick one up now. If I give you $5, will you sell it to me? Of course. $5 for a Mercury dime, I would do that all day. Spot price right now on a Mercury, I think it's like $4 or something. So who knows? Let's see. Suggestion. Spend the $12 to buy a coin red book so you understand the different coinage terms. It will help you in the end, not only as a stacker, but as a YouTuber. It's funny you say that because somebody asked me today, can I get your address? That's all they said. It was a comment. It just said address. And I mean, I used to put my address under all the videos. I don't because I'm limited on space now, but it's not a secret. I have a P.O. Box, P.O. Box 20. You just would have to find it on an old video. It's not a secret. It's a little ways away from my house. I have to drive out there. I go out there like once a week, empty all my mail. It stays in a lockbox until then. And, that's it. But I wonder, now you got me thinking, I wonder if he heard yesterday's video and said, dude, that dude needs to understand coins a little better, not just silver. For me, the coins, I collect coins because I stack silver. I recognize silver is a finite resource. It's getting, essentially, it's going to be the first element probably that goes extinct, literally. And by extinct, I don't mean you won't be able to get it necessarily, because there'll always be someone selling it. But I do think we are burning up a lot of silver, and eventually it's going to make a difference. So I'm a stacker first, a coin collector second. But yeah. Excuse me. I should spend the $12 and just get the red book. I was lucky. The previous company that I used actually threw me a red book that was 1 year out of date, and I still have it to this day. But now it's like a 22. But I also have some older ones too. I just haven't bought it in a while. Let's see. Some may weigh the dimes, but some may not. You typically will want to deal with someone in the same way you bought it. So, if you bought it per weight, then deal with someone in that if you really want to. But there will be people buying per dime. It's not as important as you may think. Okay, so I would think you would get more if you sell it when you go to sell it, if you sell it by the dime. And I would think if you buy it by the weight, you're going to do better. But I don't know. Today I picked up a whole tube of 50 uncirculated silver dimes, essentially like in the 90s. And I had to look. It threw me. I was like, why is this dime? I had to call up one subscriber that I have his number. And I said, hey, dude. I said, did they make 1994 silver dimes? 1992 silver dimes? I said, they look like silver. I put it on my Sigma. It said it was 90% silver. But I was like, why? And I looked at it, and it had an S on it. So he told me, he goes, do they look really shiny? I said, yeah, they look like proofs. He said, that's why. He said, they're proof silver dimes. So I learned that there are still, and I should have known that because I actually got a bunch of sets on my desk of state quarters sets, I guess you can say, that actually have the dime, the nickel, the penny, and the dimes in it on top of the quarters, on top of the $50 are all silver. So I should have known that, but I'm like, how did they get them? Someone had to bust it open a set or a bunch of sets and put them all in a tube. And there's like little to no wear. So those are like good silver dimes. We were talking about weight and the difference of 50 Roosevelt dimes versus 50 Mercury dimes versus 50 Seated Liberties. And I may end up doing that short video again so people can see it, the difference. Let's see. Shake a dab of Celtic salt in your water. You are flushing out a lot of minerals with that much water intake. So that was based off of me saying that I was drinking 2 gallons of water a day right now. It's still extremely hot here. I've been drinking a lot of water. I don't put any kind of salt in it only because I think my body gets a ton of salt with all the food that I eat. I've had a couple friends tease me about, dude, all the garbage you eat. I've tried to cut back on fried chicken. Unfortunately, last night I did have fried chicken because one of my buddies was home and needed a ride. And he wanted to go get a ride to go get some chicken. So I was like, yeah, I'll take you. And then he gave me a couple pieces, so I had to eat it out of being polite. I'm just kidding, because I wanted to stuff my face. So that's going to wrap it up. That is all the comments on those 2 videos. If you enjoyed today's video, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a quick little short comment. Let me know that you watched the video. I'd love to hear those comments, especially testing out Sunday. Yesterday's video was Saturday. I got 616 views on it, which is a little lower than normal. But somebody commented on essentially my thumbnails might be a little too cluttered with all the different stuff. He said it looks a little busy. I really didn't know what you were trying to say in your thumbnails. Maybe I should work on my thumbnails a little bit. It's hard to make thumbnails. As I'm sitting here looking at them, I got the same little smiley face here, here, and here. So I will probably work on my thumbnails a little bit. But the information will stay good. We're going to keep posting. If we pick up views, subscribers off of these 2 weekend videos, chances are I will be doing more weekend videos for y'all. And I thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I'm going to wrap it up here. I know we've been over an hour, I would think. Hour and 35 minutes. That was a long one, but we answered the comments on 2 videos. So hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you made it to the end, use the word end twice. So I made it to the end, or do something that tells me you made it to the end, because an hour and 35-minute video, a lot of people can't stand watching that long of a video. So if you put, better yet, just put 2 periods at the end of your comment, because no one will catch that except for you. And then I'll be able to look and see if anybody put 2 periods. I'll be like, they made it all the way to the end, and I'm going to know you did. So, but if you write, I made it to the end, then somebody else will actually copy that comment. So put down 2 periods at the end of your comment if you made it to the end. And thank you all for watching. I love to see it. I love doing the videos. Thank you all. And hit that thumbs up button. Take care. I'll see you all Monday. It's going to be exciting tonight. I can't wait for the markets to open. I really can't. I'm hoping we're going to be right back up at 54 before the markets open tomorrow morning. So take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.